Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video, we are starting it here in the bathroom and we will remain in the bathroom for a majority of today's video. So I recently posted something on both of my accounts, my main account and my spam account, for you guys to send in any questions you guys may have that are girl talk related. Anything regarding relationships, friendships, personal experiences, self-care, anything that you guys could think of, just feel free to ask. You guys asked some really good questions and I'm super excited to dive into those today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity for you guys to even feel comfortable enough to trust me with your guys' personal situations and trust my opinion or my feedback enough to even be willing to share. I film these videos quite religiously on my channel at this point. I think I've been doing them all the way back to when I was 17 years old. I find it interesting to go back. I was just watching some of my older girl talks earlier today, just to kind of reflect on, it's just interesting because my opinions on things and my feedback and experience, like personal experience on things, are going to change throughout the years. Mind you, I'm still nowhere near a professional and I'm only sharing feedback based off of my own personal experiences and all that good stuff. So with today being a girl talk, as they all start, is with some self-care involved, which is where today's partner comes along, which is FabFItFun. If you guys have never heard of FabFItFun, I've known of FabFItFun probably since around 2020. I actually worked with them a while back, so I'm so excited to be partnering with them again for today's video. FabFItFun is a lifestyle subscription where you receive 6 products per season from top brands when it comes to beauty, fashion, home, wellness, skincare, anything you can really think of. And I love how FabFItFun is created for you to actually curate your box to your liking. You get to choose every single product that is in your box, which for me personally is something I find important. If I'm going to be paying monthly for a subscription, I want to know exactly what I'm getting when it comes to anything. So I love how FabFItFun is so selective and specific, so you don't feel like you're paying a monthly subscription and having no idea what you're gonna get. You know exactly what you're gonna get, actually. I'm really excited. I have yet to open my box, but I had planned to use what I received in this box for tonight's self-care. So first of all, look, this is the summer box. It's so cute. I haven't even fully opened the box yet and it's already so adorable, but I'm going to fully open it up. This is what the box itself looks like. Cannot wait to dive into these products. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so excited because I did choose these products, but I forgot like just exactly everything that I got in my box. So okay, I'm super excited. I received 2 products from the Glow Recipe. I've never owned anything from the Glow Recipe. So the first thing that I received is the Glow Recipe Blackberry Retinol Blemish Serum. This serum in itself is normally $48. FabFItFun makes it not intimidating though, because for the price you're gonna pay for this box, you could potentially get only a product or 2 that you're getting from this monthly subscription. But look at my Glow Recipe. Oh my gosh, this is a retinol serum. I love the packaging, it's so cute. Next thing that I received is the Glow Recipe Papaya Sorbet Enzyme Cleansing Balm. I love products like this because I love going in with either like a balm or an oil just all over my skin to just melt all of the makeup off of my face. I feel like it just makes me feel like I'm gonna get a much deeper clean when I go in with my actual face wash. Once again, their products are so pretty. This product is originally $32. The next thing that I got is from the Skincare Tools. This is their de-puffing mask. It's a reusable thermo treatment. It's a reusable mask that is used to reduce inflammation and just soothe your skin. This looked so interesting whenever I was picking out my selections. I love the fact that it's reusable. This also retail price is $60. Thoroughly cleanse and dry your face. Secure the mask with a Velcro strap and relax it on your face for 10 to 15 minutes. For a cooling effect, use chilled from the fridge or freezer. Defrost for 10 minutes before. For a warming sensation, microwave the mask for 10 to 15 seconds. So that's nice. So you can, whether you want like a cooling sensation or warming, you can do both. I'm surprised you can microwave this actually. I would definitely go the cooling route though. I feel like that would be more soothing for my skin personally. The next thing I received is a whole body deodorant. I figured this would be perfect to try with the warmest months of the year approaching. Summer is right around the corner, and a whole body deodorant for the summer is definitely something I'm going to want to be using. This is by First Aid Beauty in their fresh citrus scent, but it's a 24-hour odor control, aluminum free, which is nice, so it's safe for sensitive skin. This originally goes for $20. The next thing that I got, this was actually a bracelet, which I thought was cool because majority of everything else I got is either skincare and beauty related, but this little cuff golden bracelet I thought was so gorgeous. I love cuff bracelets. I love cuffed rings. Yeah, this is super cute, and I thought it would just gives off summer vacation type of vibes. You can see the detailing on that. Lastly, I decided to get a waterproof eyeliner, semi-permanent micro pigment technology. I love black liner. I always line my waterline with black liner. This one is literally going to be perfect for my waterline lining. This is exactly the type of liner I like to use. Yeah, this will be perfect for that, but it's black and it's waterproof. Just with the temperatures rising, and if there's any time I have a waterproof liner, it would be summertime. So I'm really excited to try this out and include this in my makeup routine. So for the season, FabFitFun is actually offering 2 different promotions. One is for 20% off of your first box when you sign up as a seasonal member, and one that gets you a $200+ surprise gift when you sign up to be an annual member. So I have 2 different codes for both promotions. So if you guys are interested in the 20% off to become a seasonal member, you guys can use code AZLIA. Once again, if you guys would like to get 20% off of your first box by becoming a seasonal member, you guys can sign up using code AZLIA. And then if you guys are interested in signing up to become an annual member, where you are able to receive a $200+ surprise gift, you guys can sign up using code AZLIAGIFT. So once again, if you guys are interested in becoming an annual member and receiving the $200+ surprise gift, you guys can sign up using code AZLIAGIFT. I'll have both codes in my description box. Both are amazing deals, so I highly suggest you guys checking out FabFitFun's promotions if you guys are interested. Personally, I love being an annual member because I get first access to picking the product that I get to receive in my box. I receive earlier shipping, and I get access to their flash sales, and not just flash sales, like amazing deals, amazing flash sales with top brands for up to 70% off. The average member saves $500 in their first season. But yeah, if you guys are interested, I will have all of FabFitFun's information in the description box. We are going to get ready to actually prepare to answer these questions. I am going to throw this in the fridge really quick, and I'm also going to go get some Chick-fil-A because I'm hungry, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get through the rest of this video if we don't get something to eat first. So you guys are going to go with me there too though. What are you doing? All those parking spots, and they're parked in like 6 of them. For what? I'm about to sit in this parking lot and eat my food. Such a guilty pleasure. Oh, I'm literally parked right in front of this person. They're gonna be able to see into the car. Okay, I'm about to sit in my car and eat this food real quick. I don't know what it is, but the fast food just hits so much more when you don't eat it at home. Like whenever you eat it while you're still out. I got a spicy chicken deluxe meal with hopefully, yes, no, oh, I should have got ketchup. No tomato. I got ranch. I could put the ranch on it. Because I also got barbecue sauce, but I don't feel like that would be good. I got lemonade and sweet tea mixed together. I've always thought of that as called an Arnold Palmer. I don't know if that's like a universal thing, so I just said lemonade and sweet tea. No napkins. This is my boyfriend's shirt. Sorry, babe. Someone actually asked me as one of the questions how I maintain a balanced diet. I don't. I eat absolutely whatever I want. I just make sure that majority of my meals are eaten at home, and they're solid meals. Like, for example, I'll eat breakfast at home. At this point, you guys know what I eat for breakfast. The past few days for lunch, I just got like canned chicken, tuna, like chicken salad. I mix it with like mayo, some celery, season it with salt and pepper, throw it in a sub, throw it in some bread, eat a banana or something. Easy lunch, and then maybe I'll go get something out to eat for dinner. But as long as majority of the meals are at home, that's it. because I'm always gonna eat out. I don't restrict myself at all. So draining. So I guess in a sense that is maintaining a balanced diet, because that's what I see as balanced in my eyes, especially with not having any specific fitness goals or anything. I'm just maintaining and enjoying myself. Like, nothing's changing for the summer. But also just naturally, if I were to eat all of my meals out and I just never ate balanced, I would feel like shit. And I don't want to feel that way, because there'll be days where I eat awful and I feel awful. And that's just such like an unenjoyable feeling to have. So I feel like knowing how I would feel if I weren't to, you know, at least have some sort of balance, that's what allows me to make sure that I prioritize healthier options as well. And that's what makes eating out feel special and actually as good as it is, because I don't get it all the time, you know. But no restriction whatsoever. And there's definitely times I eat out twice in a day. I've done it on camera. Like, you guys have seen that. Don't be too hard on yourself, you know. You're not gonna be laying in your deathbed thinking, oh wow, I'm so glad I didn't eat that cheeseburger back when I was 20 years old. Just be kind to yourself, which is, you know, treating yourself here and there, but also remaining somewhat conscious of your decisions, because you also want to feel good and take care of your body. That's about all I can say about that. Alright guys, so we are in the tub now. I am well fed, so I feel much better about continuing on answering the questions and having our tub talk. I do have my drink though, so I'll be right back. Okay, so you guys asked a lot of great questions. I feel like I already mentioned that. I have a ton. My Pandora bracelets, like, they're not meant to get wet at all. But I always shower with them, so. But I don't know, I feel like submerging myself in a tub for like over an hour is different. Perfect. Oh my God. I just dropped my phone in the tub, like completely submerged it. Brand new phone. And the bath water's draining. Like, please stay closed. Okay. It's water resistant. It says it can be submerged in up to 6 meters of water for up to 30 minutes. Okay. Should be good then. At least it wasn't my camera though, because I know this absolutely would not withstand that. This camera has literally no type of durability at all. Someone said, how do you have enough discipline to work out on your cycle? I'm fighting for my life. I'm gonna take my bracelets off. Honestly, if I genuinely am so over it or just super tired and I feel exhausted and no energy to work out on my period, then I just own that and I don't go. Like, if I had happened to be on my period and I wasn't dealing with much cramping pain or discomfort, and that would be a day I would happen to be going to the gym anyways, then, you know, I would make it a point to go. But if you're feeling like you need to take the day off and not work out for a week, that's also completely fine. I can't even act like it's something that's a necessity to do while on your period. It's absolutely not, and a week off is not going to do anything negative at all. If anything, sometimes you can go a week without going to the gym and you go back feeling stronger than ever because you gave your body the rest that it needed and that you deserve. Yeah, honestly, like, if I just happen to feel good and I'm on my period, great, I'll go to the gym. If not, I just won't go. Like, don't be too hard on yourself to go to the gym while you're on your period, honestly. No one's looking down on you if you're not working out while on your period. That's a very valid time to take a break, and I don't see a problem with that. Just get through that first. I've never seen a difference with the products that they sell. How do you know if a boy/man likes you? So I feel like the way you worded this actually helps me answer this question, because a boy, like a man, you are going to know when a man likes you. You're not going to be questioning at all. But a boy, yeah, you could possibly be questioning. A man is supposed to be proving themselves to you why they are worthy of taking up your time. I know that sounds super entitled, but when you think about it, technically, I said this in my last girl talk, or I kind of touched on it, but the man should absolutely be proving to you why they will add value to your life and why you could benefit from them being in your life. You will know when a man likes you. You're not going to be questioning if he likes you. You're just not going to be confused. Like, a man is going to make it very clear when he likes you, and it's not something you're going to be questioning, whether it's through his words or his actions, but actions absolutely outweigh words, because someone can tell you how they feel about you all day long, but if their actions don't follow, the words mean absolutely nothing and it's not impressive. That man is going to be consistent. He is going to express to you how he feels about you. He's going to listen. You know, if there's things that he knows you enjoy, things that you like, he'll make sure to take note of these things and do things that include these things moving forward. Everyone shows their affection for people in different ways, but I would absolutely hone in more on how they treat you collectively as opposed to what they say, and even the affection that they're giving you, because any man can be affectionate, but there's so much more to a relationship than that, and there's so many other things that need to be taken into account. So yeah, but you'll absolutely know when a man likes you. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna question at all. I feel like as women, it's natural for us to question, but you'll know deep down, regardless of your overthinking or whatever it may be, you will know that man likes you. Like, he will prove that to you.
Newsflash, a man is supposed to make your life better, not suck the life out of you like some demon leech. He's supposed to make your life better than it was before he showed up. Not have you panicked about if he's behaving, not have you drained emotionally and financially. No, if he's not adding to your life, sweetie, there is no point. He's a man. I had a family friend who was in love with a broke, dusty male who treated her like and she was, of course, desperate to make it work. She started losing her hair. Her face was constantly broken out because she was attached to a leech who sucked her energy dry while she got nothing. When she got serious about herself and what she wanted and dropped this loser, the face cleared up, the hair stopped falling out, and she was married to a winner in 18 months. People don't just glow up after a breakup with a bad man because they start going to the gym. They glow up because their energy isn't being sucked dry anymore. The right man adds. A lot of y'all aren't even in love with these losers. You've just obsessed over them so much that you've created neural pathways in your brain that feel like love. Snap out of it. You're worthy of a man who moves mountains to add to your life and make it better.
I need more hot water for this. Warm, not hot. How do you handle toxic friendships? Honestly, I don't. There is nobody that I keep in my inner closest circle that is toxic in the slightest extent. I just feel like we're too old to be dealing with anything but authenticity. And yeah, toxic is just such like a strong word when it comes to friendship. When you think of the definition of friendship, like absolutely nothing to do with a friendship should be toxic at all. Mind you, it's not like you're supposed to just be a yes man to your friends or you guys are just always gonna agree on absolutely everything. It's totally normal to, I guess, have disagreements. I've never gotten in fights with my friends or anything. I just don't feel like that's normal, because at the end of the day, when you're dealing with someone who is level-headed and has emotional maturity and is someone that you genuinely connect with for your reasons, even if you guys were to disagree on something, it should be a simple conversation and you just kind of go from there. I don't think friendship should include grudges or any sort of animosity. I feel like that's so odd. And a friendship should not be toxic. If you feel like you're dealing with someone that does not genuinely have your best interests in mind and you're not even able to have a conversation with to resolve something, if you guys did happen to disagree on something, that's just, I know for me, honesty is always, like, I always respect it. And I feel like your friend should be the same way. If it's someone that genuinely wants to make it work with you, they absolutely will. Yeah, but like a toxic friendship, I just wouldn't. As far as handling it, I just wouldn't. A friendship should not be toxic. What traits do you look forward to a guy not having to be dateable? So the way that it's worded, traits that I wouldn't want in a guy, in this case my boyfriend, would pretty much be everything that he's not, which is, I wouldn't want a man that is narcissistic. I wouldn't want a man that doesn't have emotional maturity. I wouldn't want a man that doesn't know how to handle conflict, that doesn't know how to communicate, that doesn't know how to lead, that doesn't know how to be consistent, doesn't know how to be intentional. There's a lot that I wouldn't want. But yeah, I'd say those are some of the main things that I would refuse to deal with. in a man? Yeah, like this question, fake friends and how to navigate getting rid of them. Honestly, like you just have to be honest with them. And at this point of my life, if I genuinely felt like my time with someone was up, I would clearly communicate that prior and just be honest. I've had to learn as I've gotten older that being honest is not mean. Honesty isn't mean. There's always a respectful way to approach a situation, and I feel at the end of the day, that's the best that you can do, because someone else's response is not your responsibility, and you can't control the way someone is going to receive information, because at the end of the day, people are always going to see what they want to see in situations or in you know, especially when it comes to just humans in general that don't see an issue or any sort of problem with their own actions. That's the first step to change and adjustment to keep a friendship or relationship steady. So if they're not even able to see an issue with their behavior, then there's no way that they're going to change it, because they can't even grasp even that concept. So that's when it's best, you know, to just kind of let things go. And I would say just communicate, be super honest about how you feel, and regardless of how they respond, you know that you did your part and you know that you tried. And yeah, it's really, don't take on the weight of how somebody responds to what you said, especially if it was said respectfully and you were just being honest. Honesty isn't mean. So, you know, if that's something that can't even be handled in itself is an honest conversation, then that's probably not somebody that was worth being friends with in the first place or maintaining a friendship with, you know. What soap and pills are best for down there? So I would say hygiene wise, mind you, I don't have any scientific response for any of these specific questions, but as far as what I do, I use the honey pot. Right now I think I'm using the cucumber foaming wash, but normally I'll just get like the normal wash or sensitive wash. And honestly, even that is optional. You don't actually need soap to clean downstairs. You could simply use water. Your vagina does clean itself on its own, so you don't actually, did I exfoliate my arms? You don't actually need to use any type of soap down there if that's not something you're comfortable with. And you definitely don't need to use anything scented. Mind you, I am using a cucumber foaming wash right now, but it's not gonna last, and it's not a super strong scent or anything with a lot of chemicals in it. But a vagina is going to smell like a vagina. And of course, if there's any other types of scents that are concerning you or you don't feel are normal, you can definitely get that checked out by your doctor, gynecologist. And then as far as pills, I don't take any pills for my vagina. Supplements a lot of the time are just suggestions or supplementing things that you're not getting naturally in your diet. But a lot of the time, like as long as you're eating fairly clean, drinking lots of water, you know, prioritizing water over everything and just keeping it clean, whether it's with water or some mild soap, you should be good to go. Don't feel too stressed about that if you're not having any actual, you know, concerns. Do you think it's necessary to have a place of your own before you move in with your partner? That's really situation based and completely up to you. But personally, I would absolutely want to have the experience of living on my own prior to moving in with my partner. Like I would have wanted to have that experience before I'm moving out for my first time, and that's with my partner. Or sometimes you really don't know what something's gonna be like until you experience it for yourself, and that's okay. You're not going to know how the outcome of every situation prior to experiencing it. And you know, life is very unpredictable. But personally, like if you have the option, I would, because if you've never even lived on your own before, living with a man is going to be completely different than living on your own. And you may want to just have that experience first and also kind of just see what living alone, because living alone in itself is a lot different than living with family or whoever you may have been living with before. You know, that's going to be a different dynamic in general. And you know, you may kind of want to just experience that first by yourself before adding somebody else into that equation, and you know, kind of find out like your habits, your daily routines that you like to have while living alone, habits you are going to create that are going to be important to you moving forward living with a partner. But I do think it works well when both people have had the experience of living on their own prior to living together. I like this guy and been going on dates, but when we aren't together, he doesn't text. Do I crash out? You definitely don't crash out, because that's embarrassing. We are not going to crash out over men that aren't giving us the same energy. I don't don't know. Like if I was hanging out with someone, like it's good when we hung out, but they're not following up over text. I mean, first of all, I would communicate that it's important for you to also have communication outside of you guys going on dates, because I feel like that's normal to communicate with your partner outside of you guys just being together. It seems like he enjoys spending time with you, but just isn't putting in the effort to communicate outside of you guys hanging out because it takes more effort. I don't know. But I definitely wouldn't crash out over this, because nobody deserves your energy, any more energy than they're putting in themselves. At least in a situation like this. You know, sometimes you do have to put more energy in than your partner or friend is able to put in, because you need to be there for them, you know, depending on what it is. But in a situation like this, yeah, all the energy that you could put into crashing out, I would put into just going on with life as if, you know, like I understand sitting and waiting for a response for this person and putting energy into it and feeling like you can't even get throughout your day unless they reach out to your message, but absolutely no man is worth that if they're not putting in the same energy and effort. And I would just go about my day, because also if you are going to consistently put in more energy than he is putting in, and he knows that he can get this energy and attention from you without him putting in as much effort, why would he feel the need to try more when he already has you crashing out over him doing the bare minimum? Like, why would he put in more effort when you're already, you know? So I would say to not give him that power, and he doesn't deserve you to crash out over this situation. You know, I would communicate that it's important for you to have communication outside of the dates. And once you tell a man something, he absolutely hears you. So depending on how he goes about that is exactly how he feels about you and how important that is to him that you feel that way. And I would just go from there. If nothing changes, it's time to go, because a man definitely hears you the first time. Which bike do you have and what do you recommend for beginners? I know a lot of my audience that watches me is not interested in bike content at all, but then I also have people that subscribe to me specifically for bike content, and like anything outside of bike content that I post, they're asking, okay, when's the bike vlog? And I love it, because I have like a little audience, a little group of people that actually enjoy that niche, which makes me happy, because it is also something that I am passionate about as well. But I currently have a Ninja ZX6R, but I started on a Ninja 500. Ninja 500 is in more of the sport touring class as opposed to a super sport bike. And if you are interested in the sport bike route as opposed to more of the cruiser route, I would definitely recommend either a Ninja 500 or the Yamaha R3 is also a really popular option. I personally am a Kawasaki girl, so I'm gonna recommend the Ninja 500 or even the Ninja 400. It's a great bike to learn on. It's not super heavy. It's a lot more short girl friendly if you happen to be in that height range. I'm 5'4", and I couldn't completely put my feet down on the Ninja 500, but it was definitely a lot easier than the bike I have now. Yeah, you don't want to start with something with an excessive amount of power just to get a faster bike sooner. I'm so glad I started with the bike that I started on. But yeah, the bike I have now, I would not recommend to begin with. I would have had absolutely no business getting on the bike I have now when I first started. I went from 51 to 122 horsepower, and on a bike, that is a huge difference. Huge difference. Horsepower on a bike is nothing like a car. My ZX6R would smoke my Mustang GT, and my Mustang has nearly 500 horsepower. It's just not the same. So don't mistake a bike's power, and just always respect the bike and enjoy the process. I'm just so glad I started on something smaller that was still super fun. You can still have so much fun on a smaller bike, and you can still feel like you're going fast. It's a good time. How do you get through the daily argument phase in a relationship? It's so hard. You should not be having daily arguments in a relationship. Yeah, having daily arguments in a relationship, I would say, is considered unhealthy. Having disagreements here and there is completely normal, as it is with any human being ever. You're not going to agree with absolutely everything. But it gets to a point. It gets to a point where you guys should not be arguing every day. I feel like this probably has more to do with the person you're arguing with. It just seems like you're dealing with someone that isn't able to handle conflict properly, because arguments from the day before should never be dragged on into the next day. You never want to go to bed upset, and then it just makes for another day of not being on good terms. Whenever you're having a disagreement, the goal is to not be right. The goal is to have a mutual understanding and respect each other's opinion or viewpoint on the situation, and actually having the goal to resolve the issue. If you're dealing with someone that actually enjoys being in arguments or enjoys the drama of being in conflict, that's going to be someone it's really hard to resolve any issues with. But daily arguments, I don't feel is healthy to be dealing with. It shouldn't be something that's even dragged throughout the whole day. It should be a simple conversation, honestly. But no, there should never be a phase where you guys are daily arguing. At the end of the day, you guys are on the same team and should be basically trying to resolve it as soon as possible, so you guys aren't on negative terms anymore, because that doesn't feel good. You know, it's not a good feeling to be in, especially when you really care about that person and you want things to work out. But that just seems super exhausting, and I don't have context as far as what you guys are arguing about, but if it's like the same situation that continues to not be resolved, I feel like that is a reflection of the person that you're having the argument with. Because daily arguments, in my eyes, that's not normal. How do you learn to believe in yourself? This is a good question, and I feel like it's very broad. It can be so easy to have self-doubt. You know, we are our biggest critic, so it can be really easy to not believe in ourselves or not feel good about ourselves, especially with social media. It's so easy to compare ourselves, or, you know, it can even be people close to you that are making you doubt yourself. And I would start with I feel like building trust in yourself really allows you to build confidence and just overall belief in yourself. If there's any specific goals that you've had for yourself, even if it's super small, anything that has any sort of value to you, but it's a tangible goal, it's nothing that's too out there that would take, you know, a lot of time to achieve. I feel like setting small goals for yourself and showing up for yourself and achieving small things like this will help you build trust and confidence in yourself, because you're absolutely worth the commitment and the time. You know, you're worthy of these things, and I feel like showing up for yourself is such a great way to believe in yourself and knowing that you deserve that. I feel like also positive affirmations, as annoying as that is to hear, what you speak into existence and how you speak about yourself is truly, that's why I feel like I'm even careful with things that I say, because I truly feel like your mind and your thoughts are so powerful, and I feel like continuing to positively affirm yourself every day, it's definitely going to do better than talking negatively about yourself or trying to find things that you don't like about yourself or why you don't feel like you're worth believing in yourself. I do feel like that has a big impact as well. Also, just surrounding yourself with people that genuinely support you and want the best for you makes such a difference, because we can only do but so much ourselves, and sometimes that outside source from a loved one, someone that means a lot to us, can truly make a difference as well. So I feel like those would be my top things for something like that. It's just showing up for yourself, positive affirmations, just reminding yourself that you are worthy and you deserve to believe in yourself, just surrounding yourself with people that genuinely feel that way about you as well. Advice for when you feel behind in life. I'm gonna assume you're young, and even if you're not, I feel like this kind of goes into the same conversation that I was referring to earlier, as far as, well, it's not always social media though. Sometimes you can have family members or friends around you that may be achieving things that you wanted to achieve around the same time frame. It's a valid feeling to have, but you just have to remind yourself that, first of all, you do have so much more time than you think. I feel like the older we get, time flies so much faster, and it can be scary. It can be really scary to feel like you can never get this full grasp on how fast time is flying, and you just feel like there's so much you need to do by a certain time of your life. It's just really hit me that things are just going to unravel exactly how they're supposed to, and you just can't compare your journey to somebody else's, because that's not your journey, and that's okay. I do feel like things happen for a reason, and although it may have not been what you originally wanted, you just have to trust the process, then that things will work out in your favor. And that doesn't mean like actively working towards what you're trying to achieve, but if that's what you're doing, if you're actively working towards what you want to achieve and you still feel like you're behind in life, I would just try to put more energy into seeing how much effort you're putting into your life already, you know, and just really trust the process, because just because something hasn't happened by the time you plan for it to happen does not mean it's too late. You still have plenty of time, and everybody's timing is different. Literally nobody's life goes exactly how they expected at the exact timeline they originally wanted for themselves. Trust me, life will throw some unexpected experiences your way, and you just have to own it, you know? Yeah, it's never gonna go as planned, but it's your plan, it's your journey, and that's okay. It doesn't have to match the next person. Would you make a couples channel? This will literally never happen, and my boyfriend would never want to be a part of it. I feel like what I share on my channel with my partner is as much as I would like to share. What gave you the push to start content and not give up on the way? So in my experience, I started my channel when I was 12 years old. This is the same channel I had started when I was 12. My channel name started as All About Azzy, and I ended up turning probably 14, 15, and I was like, this sounds so self-centered. I want to just change it to my name. And so I changed it, but it was really cute when I was younger. No. So I feel like as a child, it's so much easier to just start things. If you have an idea, you just go for it. And especially when I was 12, 2011, YouTube was nowhere near what it is now. But you know, I feel like it was less structure. There wasn't as much pressure for your content to look a certain way. Aesthetics weren't really even a thing. You could just be yourself. Film content on your phone, edit an iMovie, call it a day. It was super laid back, and things have definitely evolved and changed a lot since I started YouTube. But my push was, you know, I was 12 years old. I didn't have any specific goals. I honestly did not even know you could monetize your channel when I started it. But it had gotten to the point where I had gotten the amount of views and watch time where I was eligible for monetization, but I had no idea. And I feel like that's the best way to go about it. If it's something that you genuinely have a passion for and it's not something that you're starting, you know, I know a lot of people start YouTube for the potential income or the potential opportunities. And I feel like if that's in your heart or not passionate about making content, it's not going to last, because if it's for another reason, you're going to be hyper fixated on numbers and performance, and you just having these expectations for things to perform a specific way. And then when they don't, you feel disappointed and you feel discouraged. And I feel like whenever you're starting is the best time to just not care, post, and just not feel discouraged because there's no expectations. You know, are just starting to grow your audience. That's a time where you can really find your niche and just find the content you like to film, your editing style, all of that fun stuff. I feel like that's the most fun time, is starting off your channel. Just create content that you genuinely enjoy watching, and as long as you're starting it for the right reasons, I feel like that makes it easier to not get discouraged. But of course everyone is gonna get discouraged. You're not gonna feel super motivated and super inspired all the time. You're gonna get in creative ruts, especially when you do it for a really long time, and that's normal. But if it's something that you genuinely want to do and you feel passionate about it, I say absolutely go for it. It may end up being something you could have never expected for yourself, and I don't just mean numbers or finances. Let the what ifs excite you, you know? What tongue cleaner do you use? I use a metal tongue scraper. I feel like that's the best because you can sanitize them and you actually can like scrape the gunk off. I feel like with the tongue brushes that have the little bristles, because you're not really seeing anything come off, you're just kind of brushing up and down. But with the tongue scraper, you're scraping it off and it's going into the sink. How do you deal with FOMO in your 20s, especially if you're someone who doesn't like clubs? You're not missing out if it's not something that you enjoy doing. You're not, because you're gonna go and you're going to be miserable, and you know that's not a scene that you enjoy. Yeah, if it's not something you enjoy, then you are not missing out. Trust me, I've had my going out phase where I would go to the club very frequently. You know, I lived in Miami for a few years, so that was where I really tested out the waters, and it kind of worked its way here to North Carolina for a bit. But honestly, it was something every time I went, I was hoping it would get good, because I would never fully enjoy it. And if that's not something you feel comfortable doing, then you're not missing out. There's so many other things that you can enjoy in your 20s. You know, even speaking from my own personal experience, I had that phase where I would go out super frequently. I had maybe 2 or 3 like solid going out experiences, but it's not fulfilling in the slightest. And that's just me. Some people love going out, but even if I were invited out tonight, the answer would be no, and that's okay. How do you not crave affection and partnership in a single stage? Craving affection and partnership is completely normal and a very universal human experience for humans. We crave companionship and connection, and that's completely okay. So I wouldn't give yourself a hard time for feeling that way, but at the same time, I know exactly how you feel, and I know that it can be hard to deal with, especially when you don't have a person to experience that with. But I definitely would not take it as a time to, I'd rather be uncomfortable and kind of crave those things and be patient for the right person than settling just to experience that, because it's not going to be anywhere near what it's going to be like whenever you find your person to experience these things with. Just try to pour that love and affection that you want to share with someone else into yourself and into your current loved ones. Even if it's platonic, you can pour this into your friends and your family you know, love is something you'll always have more of to give. I would just say, I know it's hard, but I definitely just recommend being patient and just trying to pour that into those non-romantic relationships until you find that person. But don't have that be the motivation to find your person. Do you desire marriage? I definitely do in my heart. I've always just wanted that one person that I could commit to and just my forever person to spend the rest of my life with. And it was very important with my current partner. And that's always just been a viewpoint I've had, that I absolutely believe in marriage and I would love to be married. And my boyfriend feels the same way and knows that. And yeah, so I definitely do, or we plan to be married. You know, these are conversations you have with your partner that you see a future with, you know. All right, you guys, so I just got out of the shower because, you know, we were in the tub and I shaved and I didn't want to not rinse after sitting in a tub full of my body hair. But now that I'm out, I just applied my lotion, and then I also went in with this full body deodorant cream underneath my arms. I'm just wearing a robe right now, so I didn't show that, but I'm excited to see how this works. I only use it under my arms for now because I'm just sleeping, but I do plan to try this in other areas whenever I actually go out. But I did realize while applying it didn't burn under my arms, which is nice because, you know, even though I just shaved, I still want to put on deodorant, and this didn't give me any issues. But now that I'm out of the shower, I was just going to apply a face mask while answering a few more of your guys' questions. You guys honestly asked me so many good questions, and I wish I could answer everything tonight, but I would literally be here all night, which sucks because I want to answer every single last one of them. But hopefully, even if I'm not able to get to your question, I hope at least some of my words can resonate with you, even if it's not specifically regarding your personal situation. What is your opinion on your man liking pics of girls half naked? That's not your man, that's everybody's man. I just feel like that's really reflective of what type of man they are and what they find appealing. Honestly, I just don't feel like that's manly at all. I feel like that's very boy-like, and it just shows that, I don't know, it's just so embarrassing, like honestly, because you're giving these women attention that 9 times out of 10 have no idea you exist. No shame to the woman involved. I just feel like only specific type of men engage in specific type of content, and it just shows that you don't, like, that's not a level-headed man that sees you for more than, like, how do you expect a man like that to respect you? I feel like that's the definition of a man that definitely indulges in other erotic content where they may not really see an issue with it because it seems so normalized for them, but it's actually not. Like, it's not normal, and if your partner cannot respect that and sees no issue with liking pictures of other women in that way, there's nothing left for us, because you can't even understand why this is a problem and this is really important to me. And I just feel like that's very telling of the type of man that you're dealing with. That should be a no issue, no problem type of conversation, or preferably never even exist. So yeah, if they can't respect you enough to not do that, that is not your man. That is everybody's man, and that's just embarrassing for them. Not for you, for them. Do you ever miss living by yourself? I honestly don't at all. I don't miss living by myself, especially with me having a partner now. I know realistically the next time I do leave my family's residence, I'm not going to be living alone. I love the company and the companionship. At this point in my life, I will probably never live alone again, and I'm completely content with that. I've already experienced that for 5 years, and now with the situation I'm in now, I don't see myself living alone again. I thought I loved the person that I'm with until I noticed I'm drained all the time. Any advice? I feel like you can love someone even if they're not what's best for you. You know, love is an unconditional feeling. You know, although some things may not be what you want them to be, or it may not be the circumstances that you want, that doesn't mean that you're not gonna have love for that person. But just because you love somebody does not mean they're the right person for you. You may just have a lot of love to give, and you know, that's a gift in itself, that you have that unconditional love to give and you see the best in people. You know, those are great traits to have. But the person that you're with is supposed to do the opposite of drain you. You should be able to go to that person to feel recharged and feel like you can just be 1000% yourself, and that's fully accepted. They're supposed to be that recharging source, if that makes sense. If you're always drained, like just really pay attention to your energy around certain people and how you feel after hanging out with people. If you feel drained, you know, and it's a consistent thing, you know, it's normal to be drained sometimes and it doesn't always have anything to do with the person. But if this is like a consistent thing, you felt good prior to spending time with this person and you just always leave feeling drained, try to reflect on what you think is making you feel drained whenever you're with this person, and just try to consider if this is something that's actually good for you or not. Because love is not enough in a relationship or friendship. You know, there's so much more to those dynamics than just love, because it's totally possible for you to love someone and for them to still not be the right person for you. What's your opinion on giving second chances in a relationship, not because of cheating? I'm glad you put that in parentheses, because I don't believe there's ever an excuse for cheating, and I don't believe it should ever be forgiven, because the moment you forgive that person for betraying you, and this is someone that you trusted yourself to be fully vulnerable with and create some of the most intimate experiences with, if they have it in them to betray you in that way, it's just something I could absolutely never forgive. And it is the absolute bare minimum in a relationship, might I just add. There's never an excuse for that, because I did have some people ask me, you know, they've been with someone for a long period of time and they cheated on them or continue to cheat on them, but they just don't want to leave. This person will never respect you, and I truly believe if someone does it once, they're absolutely capable of doing it again. I just feel like once that trust is broken, there is absolutely nothing left, because a relationship is supposed to be built on trust, and I just personally don't feel like it's something that could ever be fully forgiven. I mean, you could forgive the person, but that, just the way that that makes you feel, I just feel like there'll be a forever, you'll resent them for it forever. And the moment you accept someone back after betraying you in one of the worst ways possible, they're not going to respect you, because they know that you allowed them back into your space, back into your life after doing so. So they know they can get away with it because they just did. So I just don't understand. So personally, I would never accept someone back for that. Just regarding the other person that had messaged me regarding that type of situation. Just because something's comfortable and it's hard to leave does not mean it's not going to be one of the best decisions you'll ever make for yourself. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and everybody comes into your life for a reason. Although it may not be permanent, they're definitely there to teach you a lesson and either teach you things that you may or may not want to have in a future partner. And it may be hard in that moment, but I promise you what comes afterwards is so much better and so much worth your time.
Just can't stop thinking about him, and I miss him so much. No you don't. You miss the fake version you projected onto this loser, and now you're crying because he showed himself for who he is instead of the fake version. He sucked. You miss Casper the Ghost. You miss a man who isn't even real. Get out of fairy tale unicorn land and let's get into reality. You need to train yourself to judge men by the effort they put into you, not what you make up about what they could be. If he's not showing up right now, yawn, boring, drop him. He talks a lot, but he doesn't put any effort in to earn you. Gross. So don't start missing him. You start saying to yourself, this dude sucks. I need a real man. When you miss a fake version of a man, you're forgetting that you're a queen. You are someone that has to be earned, not some peasant on the side of the road wishing a man would have behaved and begging another man to choose you. You're a queen. The real way to measure love is effort over time. You deserve more than some guy you have to make up in your head because the one right in front of you isn't even worthy of you to begin with. You deserve a guy who shows up day in and day out because he adores you.
But as far as second chances go, I wouldn't say I completely dismiss second chances at all. I will say it's definitely circumstance based, but if you do feel like it's something that can be forgiven and you do feel like it was a genuine mistake, and you also do feel like this person is genuinely making a conscious effort and consistent effort to adjust what needed to be adjusted or what you wanted to change, and you see that change beyond their words with their actions, I feel like that's okay. You know, nobody's perfect, and I do believe like once you guys have resolved the issue once though, someone that really wants you to be in their life is going to do everything it takes in order for you to stay, and they're not going to put themselves in the position again to lose you, because I just feel like at that point they just don't care. Just ask yourself if it's something that you feel can be fully forgiven. You're not going to resent them for it in the future, because resentment is just going to eat you alive, and you're never going to have the same dynamic if that's the case. So just be honest with yourself, and if you feel like you can go through with the second chance and be 100% okay with that, and you feel like it's something that's acceptable to move past, that's great. And if not, you know the answer. accidentally spilled barbecue sauce on one of your shirts today.
My shirt?
Yeah.
The green one?
No, the Wrangler gray one. It'll come out though, it's fine. That's right here. It's come out, it's just barbecue sauce.
I was gonna use that shirt tomorrow. For a word.
I could wash it tonight.
Okay.
I actually can't believe how late it already is. I had planned to film this video or get it done so much earlier than I did, but I just needed to eat first and I just didn't like how it was turning out initially. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this much more laid back, chit chatty style video. My boyfriend and I are about to watch our zombie show. But yeah, with all of that being said, I so appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope at least one thing that I shared with you guys you were able to resonate with. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.